Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to the channel, Football Therapy. My microphone's broken. With me, your host, Jan. I'm very, very light, and the lighting's wrong, but who cares? Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series, here on this channel, where I talk about what's happening in the world of Chelsea in the Stamford Bridge studio, giving you my opinion for whatever that is worth, more importantly asking for yours, and there's a lot to get through today. Quick check-in on the contract situation with some aging midfielders. Ooh, the fashionable Leandro Trossard, who dunked on Chelsea, of course. Chelsea speeding up interest with him. The Brighton fans would love that, I'm sure. Also, Chelsea are prepared to sell Romelu Lukaku. My heart bleeds. Can we get any more than a bag of crisps? We'll have to see. And finally, an update on Arsen Zakharyan, the young Russian midfielder that, of course, is desperate to join Chelsea and has been compared to Kevin De Bruyne in terms of playstyle. That sounds nice. Another youngster to join the superstar lineup that we are building, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining me. Please do drop a like on the video. Just a little click. Oh, thank you for liking it. Oh, you haven't liked it yet. Okay, thank you for liking the video. You're welcome to subscribe, and should you choose to do so, you can hit that sweet, sweet bell, baby. Quickly, let's start off with an update from Matt Law on the London is Blue podcast. Great podcast, go check it out. Giving an update on both the contract situations with Jorginho and N'Golo Kante. He speaks about N'Golo Kante in terms of the length of contract he wants, probably a little bit more than Chelsea are prepared to do. And bearing in mind, Kante has got a lot of money. Understandably, best in the world at what he does when fit, but he's on a lot of dinero, man. And apparently, the speculation is here from Matt Law that Chelsea wouldn't give him what he wants, but they'll give it to him in terms of incentivized, easy for me to say, structured contract, which is generally what Chelsea want to do and is the smart way of doing things. Look, you can earn this money if you play football and you meet certain targets and metrics and stuff, and a lot of players would be like, nah, you got to look after me. If I'm injured, pay me anyway. It's not smart business. So if they say, yeah, no worries, N'Golo, you can have a free 4-year contract that will take you to when you're 35, but you only get paid X amount if you play, my dear sweet friend, which kind of makes sense. So we'll have to see if he offers that. Also, Jorginho, they'll make a more of a sort of concrete offer to Jorginho, I think largely because he is more available in terms of his just always, he's rarely injured, but at the same time he won't get offered as much as Kante. He's not as high profile of a player as Kante in terms of being effective in the Premier League in all instances. Jorginho is very effective in certain instances, but you drop a fit Kante into the Chelsea team, bang, he will do well regardless. The scenario, the opponent, his teammates, it's going to be good. Hence, him being the more sort of prominent figure. We'll see what happens. Chelsea could keep both. They could lose both. There's stories going around that apparently their respective agents are offering them both to Barcelona. Of course, they could agree a deal with Barcelona in January, which is in 2 months. Watch this space. Keep it locked. So let's move on. So we've got Zakharyan, Lukaku, lol, and Trossard. Let's quickly talk about Trossard. Of course, he scored a great goal against Chelsea. I believe he scored 6 goals for the new gaffer, De Zerbi. Looks very, very good. Of course, scored a hat-trick away at Anfield, and then he scored against Man City, and then he scored against Chelsea. All very good players. Of course, Graham Potter played him at wing-back when he was managing Brighton, and De Zerbi's playing him at striker. So, if he comes to Chelsea, is Potter going to be like, back you go, mate? I know you're having fun up front scoring all these goals, but we don't do that here. We're wing-back FC. I'm going to quickly cite an article on The Express by a chap called Andrew McLean. Chelsea could speed up interest in Graham Potter target after a superb showing. By the way, before we read this, the Brighton fans would be absolutely fuming. We've taken their player's player and fans player of the year, Cucurella. We've taken the gaffer. We've taken the backroom staff. We've taken the old club captain, Bruno, who's a bit of a legend. We've taken their head of recruitment, development, or whatever. And then we're going to take their current best player. Yeah, they'll love that. I can't imagine the boos will stop there. Can I just see if I can make this? Oh, well, that's better, isn't it? Not much, but still. Chelsea could reportedly speed up their interest in signing Brighton star Leandro Trossard after the Belgium scored over the Blues this weekend. I'm sure that wasn't the tipping point. The 27-year-old was a favourite of Graham Potter, while the Englishman was in charge of the Amex and has been strongly linked with a reunion with the player. Efforts which can now accelerate after Saturday's thrashing. Trossard has impressed since his arrival at the Amex. He is capable of playing across the front line. He's also performed strongly as an ultra-attacking left wing-back. He could be what Sterling cannot be, apparently. He's currently enjoying his most successful season at the Seagulls, scoring 7 goals and contributing to a further 2 assists in his 11 appearances. Wow, so he's got 11 goal contributions in... Wait, no? He's got 9 goal contributions in 11 appearances, which is pretty wild considering he's playing for Brighton, including the opener against Chelsea, and of course that was a great goal. The Blues have been heavily linked with a move for this player in recent weeks, with Potter keen to work with his former star again. Now it appears that could be set to accelerate after the 21... He's 21-time capped. 21-time capped for Belgium. I thought he's only just got into that side. That's pretty impressive. Journalist Sasha Tavoleri, easy for me to say, has reported that Chelsea may now speed up their approach after watching him closely in recent weeks. Bearing in mind as well, Leandro Trossard himself commented he would come to Chelsea before all this stuff. Oh, it would be so hard to turn down, and obviously it would be. The thing is, you'd be pissed off as a Brighton fan, but dude, you know, you're still Brighton and it's Chelsea, like, and that's no disrespect, great club and all that, but do you know what I mean? If you get offered a bigger job and more money and more opportunity for your career, it's just how it goes, man. Like, you know, it's not even like, oh, screw the man. It's just, I don't know. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is what it is. Let's move on. We've got plenty to talk about today. Let me know what you think of Leandro Trossard down in the comments. You know, like, and Cuckoo's reportedly coming to Chelsea. Do you want Trossard as well? For me, like, of course, Rafa Leao of AC Milan, heavily exciting player. You know, he looks like a big striker, but he's a really fast winger. Obviously starts for Portugal. Heavily linked with Chelsea, would cost a lot of money. But Leandro Trossard, little diminutive guy, just already banging in the Premier League. So, you know, is it better to buy within the league? I think so. Let me know your thoughts down below. And let's move on. Alright, so we are going to talk about Lukaku in just a moment, because that is a big £100 million problem. But quickly, let's give you an update on Arsen Zakharyan from Caught Offside, referencing updates from Transfer Guru. Fabrizio Romano. Chelsea remain interested in signing Dinamo Moscow's Arsen Zakharyan after trying to bring the 19-year-old to Stamford Bridge this summer, or last summer, should I say. That move never came to fruition. However, Fabrizio Romano reports that the Dinamo Moscow star is one of the talents Chelsea want for the present and future. Now, present and future resonates with the Carney Chukwuemeka. You know, a teenager, a 19-year-old, but will feature in the first team because they're good. Maybe Omari Hutchinson, midweek. Oh, no, he's not. I don't think he's registered to play in the Champions League. I heard on the Straight Out of Cobham podcast. So, yeah, many of you who were hoping to see Omari Hutchinson midweek, I have a feeling that won't happen. Still, we do feel like we'll see Omari Hutchinson in the first team sooner rather than later, the young teenager bought from Arsenal. Let's move on. According to the transfer journalist, Zakharyan has been very clear about his future and has stated, quote, "I only want to join Chelsea," end quote. Concise and clear. The Russian youngster's contract expires with Dinamo in 2024, but whether a move will be made by the Premier League in January this summer is not known, so they probably want him for January. There is an issue because of the conflict, the invasion in Ukraine, him being Russian. Chelsea are trying to change his nationality to bring him in. Don't quote me on that exactly, but it's something like that. There's a few like political or geopolitical complications in terms of bringing the youngster in. He's desperate to join Chelsea though. Zakharyan is an attacking midfielder and his play style has been compared to that of Manchester City's Kevin De Bruyne. Lovely jubbly, sounds like something we need very much. The 19-year-old has played 18 games for Dinamo this season, scoring 3 goals and assisting a further 6. Oh, so he is like KDB, lots of assists. So a goal contribution every other game for a teenager in the top flight. Yeah, but his team sits 5th in the table, so they're not, the best powerhouse. Pretty good, pretty solid, and it's the play style we want. The Russian has come through the ranks at Dinamo, having joined as a kid in 2017, but looks set to leave soon, and it's going to be Chelsea, it looks like. I'm actually quite excited about this kid. It won't be the most blockbuster high-profile move, but in terms of the style of player, an attacking midfielder that's going to properly play in the midfield, not like Lukaku up the top, not like a Leao on the wing, not like a much-needed right wing back like Denzel Dumfries, or whoever, and maybe of course we might buy CDM, which we're all calling out for, like where there is a proper stopper, like your Declan Rice, or pick your poison, mate, you choose. But this kind of player is different. This kind of midfielder is different, and that's kind of exciting, man. So yeah, let me know what you think on Arsen Zakharyan. Comment down below, and let's move on and talk about a big Belgium. Romelu Lukaku, still not fit, hasn't played for Inter on the return. They're raising eyebrows, and the dude's just annoying, isn't he? Like, big up Lukaku. I loved watching him before he came to Chelsea with Lautaro. He chatted so much breeze, though, and he just annoys me. Such a shame, because he should have just not come to Chelsea, and he would still be in form. He'd still be fit, in fitness, and I could carry on enjoying him from a distance. Oh well, some things never work. Nizar Kinsella's written an article not long ago on the Standard. Big up Naz, let's have a quick read. Chelsea are ready to sell Romelu Lukaku, ladies and gentlemen, and hope a good World Cup can boost his transfer value ahead of a permanent exit from Stamford Bridge next summer. Lukaku is on loan at Inter and is unlikely to have a future at Chelsea under new manager Graham Potter. Also, he just kind of wouldn't be welcome back, would he? Chelsea are set to make a huge loss on the £97.5 million they paid for Lukaku in 2021, but want to offload the Belgium striker and are looking for buyers. Also, as well, fortunately, in Chelsea's position, we have new owners that bought the club. With 2 billion debt written off. A kind of warm fuzzy that makes these kind of losses easier. And you'll probably remember me saying on previous videos when Todd Boehly bought the LA Dodgers, they took loads of financial L's to clear out and start again. They were paying players to leave and stuff. So, you got to break some eggs. Do you know what I mean? Lukaku has been struggling with a hamstring problem, and Inter confirmed yesterday he suffered another injury setback less than 3 weeks before the World Cup starts. Belgium are swaying, on his fitness, but Lukaku plans to be fit for Qatar. And Chelsea hope a good showing at the tournament will increase their market value. Well, yeah, they kind of do really need Lukaku up there, don't they, Belgium, because Meanwhie, he still plays for Belgium when Lukaku's not there. Obviously, Benteke's sort of cooked now. I suppose I could always play like Dries Mertens. I don't know, will he even get the call up now? But he used to play down the middle sometimes, because he did with Napoli. I doubt he would. But I guess Trossard, man, like 27-year-old Trossard banging loads of goals in the Premier League, why not him? So the 29-year-old at Inter, the loan last season was worth just 6.7 million. Oh my god. And his age, the devalue in his age, plus the no scoring goals, plus that tiny loan fee. I guess they would have paid his wages as well, but still, that is so sad. Last summer, and Chelsea have verbally agreed that the City A side can loan him again in the exact same terms next season, but their ultimate aim is to find new suitors as they look to recoup as much money as possible. Who else is going to buy Lukaku? Lukaku is not keen on returning to Chelsea despite Potter replacing Thomas Tuchel, who fell out with last season. Yeah, and there's that story that Naz said that he heard that he wasn't necessarily first-hand reporting on. Tuchel made that joke about Conte being his daddy or something. It was very, very funny. Potter is so far yet to give the club a firm opinion on Lukaku's future, but a return to Stamford Bridge seems unlikely. Well, he starts at Aubameyang, who's four years older than Lukaku. Lukaku has started only 3 times for Inter this season and aggravated his hamstring issue after scoring on his return from the bench in the Champions League last week. Speaking ahead of their clash with Bayern Munich, Inter boss Simone Inzaghi said, "It's a slowdown that we didn't want. He was giving us a lot in this period. Hopefully we can have him back after the break." Who the hell's going to buy Lukaku of us? Inter are broke. They just want to sell players, which is tricky. Bayern Munich to replace, I know they don't want a big number 9 under Nagelsmann, but Choupo-Moting's been playing for them, and he's like a proper number 9. Maybe they buy, they just talk about they want Harry Kane. Harry Kane will still cost them a lot of money. Hey, you can have Lukaku for not much money. Lukaku probably speaks German as well. He speaks like 7 languages. Maybe we can sell Lukaku to Bayern Munich. There, it's settled. You win loads of trophies over there, man. You've only got 2 league titles in your career, and one was the Belgium league title, so it doesn't really count. Go to Bayern. You win a couple more before you retire, mate. It suits everyone. There you go. I'm a problem solver, and you can have them for what they're going to pay. They're not going to pay any more than like 45 million. If he has a good World Cup, maybe 50 million if he looks elite again. But then again, Potter might fancy it. Look, let me know what you think. Comment down below. We've spoken about a lot today. So yeah, lots to get into. Please do drop a like on the video and subscribe if you're new. Comment and share and all those wonderful interactions that help me out so much, mate. Thank you for joining me. I look forward to seeing you guys after the game tomorrow. So keep it locked. All right, peace.